For today's myth, Napoleon Bonaparte was extremely short. You probably heard that Napoleon Bonaparte was this very tiny, small fellow. Some have even suggested that all his ambition and accomplishments were Napoleon's way of trying to compensate for his small stature. However, I am happy to report that even though this myth has been around for centuries, it is not true. Napoleon's actual height was between 5'6" and 5'7". That is about 1.68 to 1.70 meters. And back in the early 1800s, that was actually slightly above average for a Frenchman. The average height in Europe at the time was around 5'5" or 5'6". That is between 1.65 and 1.67 meters. So, where does this myth about Napoleon come from? Well, it's mostly due to British propaganda and cartoons that were trying to make fun of him, and sometimes in an attempt to make him seem less intimidating. And there are also a couple other reasons that might suggest that he was of short stature. His soldiers used to call him Le Petit Caporal, which means the little corporal. However, this was not a reference to his height, it was more like an affectionate term from his soldiers toward him. Another reason for this myth is that Napoleon would always look extremely short when standing next to his bodyguards. But of course, we need to remember that Napoleon's bodyguards were some of the most physically gifted men in all of the French army, which means that all of them were extraordinarily tall. So of course, when standing next to them, Napoleon looked way shorter than he really was.